whilst we wait to raise them on the line, government is assuring the African Continental Free Trade Agreement ratified by Parliament on Thursday will grow the Ghanaian economy. Parliament ratified the agreement signed by 44 African countries at an emergency sitting yesterday. It will, among others, allow for African countries to export products tariff-free. Minority spokesperson on Foreign Affairs, Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa, commended the move. He, however, says it will lead to shortfalls of revenue and must be looked at once again.
As we talk about promoting intra-African trade, the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa indicates that only 18% of our exports are manufactured goods. So value addition still remains a challenge on the continent. And so it is our hope that we will pay attention to adding value. We must also encourage our finance ministry to pay attention to the initial shocks that the experts say will occur, the initial revenue losses. UNCTAD is estimating some $4.1 billion for initial revenue loss, but in the medium to long term, there will be overwhelming gains. Our finance ministry must be paying attention so that in the immediate budget that will be brought to this House, measures will be put in place to address this initial shock. Right, Honourable Speaker, we cannot also pretend to be oblivious of a major challenge to this Africa Continental Free Trade Area Agreement, which is the fact that two of the largest economies in Africa have so far not signed up to this agreement, Nigeria and South Africa. We want to use this opportunity to encourage these two economic powerhouses. Often, it has been a divide and rule. We have militated against our own progress as a continent. This is not the time for feet dragging. This is not the time to be too much inward looking, just looking at our narrow sectarian interests. We should look at the African interest for once and put aside our limiting national roadblocks.
Minority spokesperson for Foreign Affairs there, Trade and Industry Minister Alan Chemating, is assuring that necessary steps are being taken to ensure that Ghana benefits greatly from the deal.
For Ghanaian manufacturers, industrialists, business men and women to export to neighboring African countries, because basically what the agreement is providing is to create a single market for the continent. It does then would suggest that it is not just the ECOWAS market that is now available to our producers, but if an entrepreneur has the right product, right quality, the right price, you can export to any country on the continent. And the advantage that this brings to the entrepreneur is that because there is a zero tariff on goods that will be exported within the free trade area, it will make you more competitive than those who are exporting from outside the continent. Basically, that is the advantage of integrating your markets.
This has been existent at the ECOWAS level from what we understand for some time now. Is there evidence that that has really helped grow Ghanaian industry, based on which Ghana thinks it would be a good idea to join the continental, agreements?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, there are companies that are exporting more to Nigeria and to other ECOWAS countries than they are even in the local market. But of course, it depends on each manufacturer or each industrialist. If your target is to export, then obviously the benefit of having an integrated market is there for you. But obviously, it is not every company that may seek to export outside the.
My final two questions. is there a strategy to help build the capacity of African, Ghanaian businesses the more, so that they're able to take better advantage of this opportunity that's coming?
Yes, I think you are aware that the government has launched a very comprehensive program for industrial transformation, which has about 10 components. So what we are seeking to do to support Ghanaian companies is to enhance their productive capacity so that they can take advantage of this expanded market opportunity. So we are not looking at the free trade area as an end in itself. It is what we are doing now to support the companies that we believe would enhance their capacity to take advantage of the expanded market.
The expected revenue shortfall, is there a strategy to make up for that so the economy doesn't suffer?
No, there are always pluses and minuses to any trade agreement. Yes, obviously there will be loss of revenue, but you also understand that there would be increased export earnings for those that are able to take advantage of that. And all the analysis that has been done for many years points unequivocally to the fact that the net benefit to the economy will be positive.